Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Vision Pros Live. I'm your host and coach, Fletcher Ellingson. So glad you're here. So glad that you're in this conversation. I'm committed to you getting something out of value out of this conversation today and on the show. Kelly, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fletcher. Thank you for having me.
And you are the founder of 2 Mile High Marketing.
I
And we're going to talk
am.
about that in a minute. But before we get to that, I want to ask you, what's something that's going well in your life, either professionally or personally or both? And the reason we like to start off with the win is because there's a lot of uncertainty in the world today, probably more so than ever in our country. And it doesn't always feel good, and it puts people on edge, and we get focused on what's not working. Help bring us back and remind us, oh yeah, there are still things going well. There are still wins. So what's going well for you?
Well, I will say that so I was laid off last year. And so when you talk about, things that are not going well, that you can turn into, something that is going well. At that time, when I was laid off, I was looking, I'd look at LinkedIn and I would see people talking about how they lost their job, 700 days ago, and they haven't been able to find a job. They've applied for so many jobs, and I just told myself at that time, I will not be that person. I am not going to be desperate down the road. I decided to lean into starting my business. I did, and I have found myself here less than a year later, on track to reach $1 million in revenue in my first year. And I would say that's a win.
I would say that's a huge win. Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations. And I love that attitude because it sounds like what you did was you made a powerful decision, right?
Yeah. I mean, I really think that a big part of that was mindset, that, I could have had the mindset of, poor me, I have lost my job. What am I going to do? And I hired a coach right away. That was one of the things I did. And I remember him saying to me at one point that what he got from me was like, failure is not an option. And that is 100% what my mindset was this is going to work and it's going to come together. And it did, right? But without that
Yeah.
mindset, I don't think I could have accomplished what I did.
Excellent. And so yeah, you made a powerful decision, and I really want our listeners to hear this because you could have easily made another decision. Like, yeah, this is the economy that we're in. People lose jobs, and
Right.
I got same thing for me. Woe is me. And I'm not diminishing any of those people, but what I am contrasting is that we also have the opportunity to create another powerful decision. And some people listening to this might think, well, Fletcher, what are you talking about? You can't just make a decision that you're going to create gainful employment. You actually can, just as easily as making a decision, I'm going to remain unemployed, or the job search is going to be hard, or right. We make decisions all of the time. And
Right.
there's a great I think it was maybe Winston Churchill who said one of the greatest signs of success is being able to go from one failure to another without any loss of enthusiasm. Because within that, it highlights a decision. I'm going to go again. I'll do it again. And there's no right or wrong decisions. There are simply decisions that we make, and then we either make them work for our lives or we don't. And you made it work for your life. So congratulations, and thank you for leading.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, you bet. So we're on this show. It's called Vision Pros. What we're mainly interested here is, like, what is your vision? What is that clarified story that you've got in your brain that you are working to unpack into the physical realm?
I would say my vision is taking what I want to do. My vision, my mission in my company is to help thought leaders reach their target audience and grow their business through thought leadership marketing. So, that is one of the things that I look at people like me who were employees somewhere else, or they're business owners who maybe don't see themselves as a thought leader or don't see themselves as the expert in their industry. And I want to help them get out of their comfort zone a little, get those, get in front of the right audience, get those speaking events that they need, position themselves as that thought leader, because that is going to be the key to growing their business. And I think that we so often get just bogged down by the work. We're doing the work and we're, stuck in the day to day, and it's hard to think bigger and think long term. And that's where I want to help more thought leaders grow their business through that thought leadership type marketing.
Right on. And so that's what your business, 2 Mile High Marketing, does. Is that correct?
That's what we do. And again, like I said, when I decided to start this business, I think part of the key to our success early on was that I got really clear about my value in the world and where I fit, the experience, the skills that I had, and how I was able to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I never saw myself as a business owner. I never saw myself as what I call myself was the person behind the person. I was the person helping somebody else accomplish their dreams.
Yeah.
And when I finally leaned into that and said, you know what, this is what I'm good at, and I'm going to go for it. It made all the difference in the world.
Yeah. And I like to highlight certain things that I hear in my guests because, and I want my audience to hear this. And what I heard you say was something extremely important in my book, and I want to bring a spotlight to it. You got clear about your value. And
Absolutely.
what I want our listeners to hear is that everybody has value. There are so many entrepreneurs who are like, oh, well, what is my value? I mean, I know what I like to do, but what's my, no. Get clear, get crystal clear about what your value is so that you can lead with that value. Because as far as I'm concerned, there are always 3 things that can follow value. What can follow value is compensation. What can follow value is connection. What can follow value is opportunity. And one, two, or all 3 of those can follow the value. Get clear about your value. Stop kidding yourself that you don't have value. Declare what it is and lean into it. Because as what Kelly has found, she's on track to make $1 million this year. And this is a brand new business for her. She leaned into her value. Now, some people listening might be like, well, Fletcher, she's probably got some special formula. She's got a magic wand or something that I don't know about. So to those people that are saying that, and they're not even saying it, their mind is just saying it. Okay. Right.
Right.
So what would you say to that, to the people like, oh, she got lucky, or she's got something that I don't have?
Yeah, I like to call it your authority X factor. So I think, early on, I sat down. There was, I had several weeks of trying to figure out what was I going to do next, right? One of the things I did was make decisions very quickly. So I didn't sit on things and overanalyze and overthink things. I just was like, I need a website. I need a business name. I need to register the business, those basic things that you just have to start doing. And I just started putting those things into motion. But then one of the things I feel like I really the way I really leaned into my skills and experience was I started thinking about what had I done in my career. Where was I most beneficial in the workplace? I had 2 kind of long-term jobs in my career, and it was like, what did I really enjoy about it, and what was I good at, right? And once I got my head around that, it was like it just took off, because as soon as I started telling people this is what I'm now doing, they're like, oh, that is exactly what you should be doing. I was like, I know, right? So I call that my authority X factor, but it didn't just come to me, right? I had to think about it. I had to reflect on things. I had to think back. And in a moment that was hard, it's hard to lose your job. It's hard to go through that, and to, the stress, even feeling rejected when you're laid off. It's just like, why me? Why did that happen to me? Right. But I had to just get over all of that and think about what I really could, how I could really bring value to other people in the workplace, right? And so, I think that is really what people, if you're thinking about either starting your own business or trying to grow your business more, I think any business owner needs to really think about that, and not just doing the things they have to do every day, but thinking about how they really can bring value to their clients, to other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. So who are your ideal clients that you're helping these days?
So most of the clients that I work with are business owners who are anywhere from, I would say, about 1 million in revenue to over 10 million in revenue. They're those owners who they know they've grown their company to a certain point, and they know when they sorry for that, when
All
they
right.
get in front of their target audience, they get more clients, right? And so
Yeah.
they know if they get on a stage, they have a book in hand, they maybe even do online webinars, workshops, things like that. They know that once they do that, people
Mhm.
typically convert, right? Like it's
Yeah.
getting that exposure. So it's usually in that range, somewhere, like I said, between 1 million and 10 million, where they're like, I know the more I do this, it's good for my business, but I don't have the people on staff to do it, or my staff don't, I maybe don't have the staff to do it, or if I have a marketing team, they don't specialize in that, or it's hard to always be thinking, if you want to speak, you're having to think 6 months ahead, right? Like events right now, this is August, and we're applying for events in the spring right now for our clients. So, having to think ahead like that. Typically our clients come to us because they're like, we know we need to do it, but we just don't have the time or the people to do it for us. So,
Yeah.
that's where we specialize and where we come in.
Got it. All right. So yeah, so you've got the talent, and they know they're the talent, and that's their wheelhouse, and like very common for talent, great at what they do. They can convert when they get it in front of an audience, but all the other stuff of getting to that place is not in their skill set and can hold them back. Is that accurate?
Right. Yes,
And
absolutely.
and so you come in and kind of help bridge that gap for them.
Right. So we can take, if they come to us, sometimes we have clients who are like, I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. I have this, go-to talk that I give every
Yep.
time. We also have the clients who come to us and they're like, well, I could talk about leadership. I could talk about e-commerce. I could talk about website design. They have all these things, and it's okay to have multiple topics you can talk about, but we help them really define what those topics are and who the audience is. That, if you go out and speak, what's the benefit to you? We want to make sure that we're getting you in front of the right people. So we can kind of help them refine those topics. We put together presentation briefs for them. We can, if they want to do like a practice round, we'll kind of give them feedback on that, things like that, but
Yeah.
help them really get their messaging down so that when they get in front of their target audience, they're more effective.
And are you helping them on podcasts or live stages or both? Or tell me about that.
Both. We do. So again, our clients kind of range different things, but if they're wanting to get in front of small groups, we'll look for, groups of 10 to 15 business owners. Maybe if they're looking to get in front of large groups, we'll look for large conferences where they might have an audience of 100, 200, something like that. And then we also do the podcast bookings for them. So we help them find more podcasts to guest on. I typically tell people not to go into podcasts looking to close more deals or get more clients from that, but we'll turn those podcast interviews into clips that we then use on their LinkedIn. So we do the LinkedIn management as well. And it's that constant, showing your face on LinkedIn, these little clips of you saying things that resonate with your target audience. That's what we really want to get from the podcast interviews, but we do that as well for them. So it's kind of like that 3-tiered kind of approach: the speaking events, podcasts, and LinkedIn management.
Yeah. And you're ultimately helping them raise up their visibility,
Yes.
their authority. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to say it's the 3 pillars of thought leadership are visibility, credibility, and consistency. So showing up consistently in all those places, but also have, that credibility that it brings when you're talking about your topic. A lot of times we or the clients that I work with don't always see themselves as the expert, but when they start talking, it comes out. Like they have that knowledge in them. It's just that they don't always think of themselves as that go-to expert, but other people will, when they're sharing that knowledge.
Yeah. And I think that's a great we could talk about that too. And I just want to bring a spotlight to that as well, because that is something that a lot of entrepreneurs or business owners struggle with. Like this, it's a bit of the imposter syndrome that we hear, that we all are familiar with that term, but it really is just like, I'm not sure how I sound. Do I sound like an expert? Do I sound authoritative? And so it gives you that pause or that self-doubt. And again, let's bring it full circle. This is another opportunity to practice making powerful decisions. Oh, I do know what I'm talking about. Oh, I do have the experience. Oh, I do have the authority. Yes, I am that speaker. Just deciding to stand in that can make a huge difference. It's all about state of mind, right?
Right. Absolutely. I saw that one of the first times I went on stage. I had that feeling of like, who am I to go and talk, right? Who am I to get up and share this message? But I did. And I was shocked by how many people were coming up to me afterwards and asking me questions, and they wanted to pick my brain on things. And and it was like, having that experience, you realize that you do have so much to share with people. And when you do it, you really open up those doors for more conversations with the right people. So
Yeah.
it just takes the practice of doing it, especially if you're afraid to get on stage or afraid to put yourself out there. I encourage people to get over their fear and push themselves to do things that are uncomfortable, because it really will unlock more opportunities in their business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well said. Hey, Kelly, if someone's feeling inspired by what you're saying here and they want to have a conversation, they want to have a discovery call with you, find out more about how you might be able to help them or see if you're a good fit for their company, what's the best way to get in contact with you?
Yeah, a good starting point would be 2milehighmarketing.com, my website. When you go there, there is a thought leader scorecard, a quick quiz you can take. It's 3 minutes. You'll answer some questions, and it will help you see where you fall as a thought leader, and help you think about some of the things that you might want to work on if you really want to establish your thought leadership platform. So that quiz is a nice tool and gives you a nice resource. You'll get an email with some information in it on kind of what to work on. And then also LinkedIn. I'm a big LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. So
I saw that.
yes. So my LinkedIn profile is a great way to connect with me as well, especially if you want to learn more about thought leadership.
Right on. Hey, our guest today is Kelly, founder of 2 Mile High Marketing. And it's been a real pleasure to have you on. I look forward to another conversation with you. And now it's time for you all to get out there. Be a source of kindness. Be a source of contribution. You do have something to offer this world. You do have value. So get out there and get into action. We'll see you next time right here on Vision Pros.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.